You got to listen to this story here. A GoFundMe page set up for an Iowa teen who killed her alleged rapist has raised a substantial amount of money less than 24 hours after her sentence was handed down. Piper Lewis was sentenced to 5 years of probation and also ordered to pay $150,000 in restitution to the alleged rapist's family. Lewis said she was a victim of human trafficking and said Brooks raped her several times before she killed him. Experts say the judge's hands were simply tied.
I don't think the judge had any choice, but was mandated to issue that order for restitution.
Early Wednesday morning, it had $30,000. By noon, it had already surpassed its goal of $150,000, and now that amount stands at more than $200,000.
Sheldon, little bootleg ass studio.
Wow, what's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome back to Sheldon's bootleg ass studio, where you come to kick it, vibe out, and shoot the shit with Sheldon. Say, if you ain't subscribed to the channel by now, you're doing myself and yourself a disservice. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and tap that notification bell as well. That way you are amongst those who are notified as soon as I release new content. Also, don't be shy. Drop me some in the comment section. That way I can familiarize myself with you and recognize who you are as we are reacting to these videos, and I appreciate all my viewers. So if you drop me some in that comment section and I see it, I will respond to it. So you might just want to be on your best behavior, because if you're a troll, I will get on your dog ass, indubitably. Video of today. Unfortunate situation coming up out of Iowa. You understand what I'm saying? Iowa teen ordered to pay her alleged, we're going to say sex offender who took it from her, his family, $150,000. And this is not the first sex trafficking victim penalized for killing their alleged assaulter. This is crazy, according to CNN. What kind of America do we live in? What kind of system, what kind of government do we live in? This is very wicked. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. Anyway, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We finna jump up in this thing right now. Before we get started, though, I'm gonna need y'all to go ahead and subscribe to my second YouTube channel, Vybez TV. If anything happened to this channel, because YouTube like to strike my channel, I'm sitting on 2 strikes right now. And if I get a third one, then that means it's adios for your boy. So if you fornicate with SheldonVybez, the content that I bring, the link in my description to bring you to my second YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, please, and thank you. I need to get to at least 1,000 subscribers. All right, let's jump up in this thing right now.
Sheldon, little bootleg ass studio.
All right, so as you see, according to CNN, Iowa teen ordered to pay her alleged, take it from her family, $150,000. And this is not the first sex trafficking victim penalized for killing her alleged assaulter. All right. Now, an Iowa judge ruling this week ordering a teenage girl who was 15 when she killed a man she said took it from her multiple times to pay his family $150,000 in restitution has reignited conversations about what justice looks like for girls and young women who have experienced that type of violence. Okay, Piper Lewis, who killed her alleged taking it from her assaulter in 2020, received a deferred judgment from Polk County District Judge David Porter after pleading guilty to voluntary manslaughter and willful injury. Lewis is just one of several teenagers, often of color. I don't like that, black woman. We just gonna keep it like that. But they said of color, who have been legally penalized or convicted of killing their sex trafficker or assaulter in recent years in the U.S. I'm not surprised. All right. Now, last month, California Governor Gavin Newsom granted clemency to Sarah Cruzan, who was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole as a teenager for killing a man who sexually abused and trafficked her in 1994. In Wisconsin, Crystal Kaiser is facing a life sentence for killing the man she said forced her into this type of activities. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying not to say it so many times, because they flagged my channel for any damn thing. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be careful. We walking on goddamn eggshells over here. You know what I'm saying? So subscribe to my second YouTube channel, Vybez TV. I need to get to at least 1,000 subscribers. I know a lot of y'all skipped that intro, but sometimes I drop some good, valid information in front of the video, and I'm gonna have to start dropping it in the middle of the video for those who don't watch the intro. But I need y'all to subscribe to my second YouTube channel, Vybez TV. That's if you fornicate with your boy. You know what I'm saying? If not, then hey, you shouldn't even be here. But let's continue. All right. After a state Supreme Court ruling in July, Kaiser will be allowed to argue in court her actions were a direct result of being trafficked. A defense that could see charges against her acquitted. All right. And in Tennessee, Centoya Brown, yes, I believe she was a Hispanic woman or something of that nature, was sentenced to life in prison for killing a man who paid to take it from her when she was 16 years old. She was a 16-year-old trafficking victim. And I remember this story, Centoya Brown. I think she was recently released. If I'm not mistaken, I believe she was recently released within the past 3 to 5 years. Now 32, Brown was granted clemency in 2019. Yep, there we go. After spending half of her life behind bars. All right. So we're not going to go on and read y'all this long article, but we do have a video for y'all. So hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's jump up in this thing right now.
Tonight, a teenager, the alleged victim of unspeakable crimes of human trafficking and rape, after fatally stabbing her alleged rapist, will stay out of prison. But a court ruling Piper Lewis must pay $150,000 to the family of the man who raped her.
The events that took place on that horrific day cannot be changed, as much as I wish they could.
17-year-old Lewis pleading guilty to involuntary manslaughter and willful injury in the 2020 killing of 37-year-old Zachary Brooks. She says he raped her multiple times in the weeks before his death.
I wish the events that took place on June 1st, 2020 never occurred. But to say there's only one victim to this story is absurd.
Her charges punishable by up to 10 years each in prison, but the judge taking a different path at sentencing.
Ms. Lewis, I will defer your judgment.
Lewis given 5 years of probation, but she could be sent to prison if she violates any part of that. Her conviction also carries an automatic requirement by Iowa law to pay restitution to Brooks's estate. The judge saying the court was, quote, presented with no other option. Lewis's attorney disagreeing at sentencing.
If you defer judgment, Mr. Brooks' estate is not entitled to any restitution whatsoever.
I'm telling you.
And frankly, his estate doesn't deserve it because
of his own
conduct.
A GoFundMe for Lewis has now exceeded that amount, saying the excess money will support her continued education. Lewis was just 15 when she stabbed Brooks more than 30 times in a Des Moines apartment. Officials say she was a runaway, seeking to escape an abusive foster home. Piper said in court that a man took her in before forcibly trafficking her to other men for sex. She testified that one of those men was Brooks, who repeatedly raped her at knife point. We reached out to Brooks's attorney, but have not heard back.
That's why she stabbed his ass.
Have not disputed Lewis was assaulted and trafficked, but
say, man, if you ain't never heard the saying before, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. You feel me? That's what the hell happened to this old. Anyway, hit that like button, subscribe to my other YouTube channel. Again, for those who missed the information, I'm sitting on 2 strikes on this channel. I need for y'all to go ahead and subscribe to my second YouTube channel, Vybez TV. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers. Let's go.
They have argued that Brooks was asleep at the time he was stabbed and not an immediate threat. Prosecutors today telling NBC News they, quote, recommended that she goes to a woman's facility to provide structure and deal with the issues that she has. Advocates argue her actions were the result of the trauma she faced.
You know, many of the things that we heard during the trial around not only what she experienced, but also her reactions to that are very common trauma reactions for survivors.
Piper's circumstances are not uncommon. Of the more than 25,000 cases of children who had run away and were reported missing to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children in 2021, the center says 1 in 6 were likely victims of child sex trafficking. Lewis is not the only alleged child sex trafficking victim to kill an abuser, but she is one of the few to avoid prison time after such a crime.
That does feel in some ways like a win, though, to be really real and really frank, the way that our criminal legal system works, 5 years probation in a controlled facility means that you don't have any wiggle room.
That day, a combination of complicated actions took place. resulting in the death of a person as well as stolen innocence of a child.
Maya Eaglin joins us now. Maya, this
Let
is
me
a
tell
really
y'all
sad
something.
and complicated story.
Let me tell y'all something. They gonna sit here and pretend like they give a damn about the innocence of a child. They don't give a damn about the innocence of a child. They don't. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to be the one to break it to you if you didn't know this, but they don't give a damn about the innocence of a child. As sad as that is to say, because they partake in what we call pedo activities as well. And I have to be careful with my words, you feel me? They partake in this. The ones who make the laws partake in this. If you haven't heard of those P rings, and I ain't talking about PCAT, I'm talking about what I just said a moment ago. Those pedo rings, they have underground rings in Hollywood and all kinds of other. I've heard videos. I've seen whistleblowers talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Look it up. This is not just conspiracy. You know, you can ignore it if you want to, but that does not dismiss it from actually happening. But I'm here to tell you, they don't care about the innocence of a child. They are trying to lower and lower the age of consent as we speak. And some laws is already as low as 16, 15, I believe. I'm not sure what the lowest age is, but they are trying to lessen the age, lower the age of consent.
What's next for Piper? Where will she go now?
So Piper spent the last 2 years in a juvenile detention center. She completed her GED, and now prosecutors are recommending that she head to a women's facility. The judge even mentioning that facility will help provide her the structure to successfully complete that probation period.
You mentioned there was a GoFundMe page. How much has she been able to raise?
So far, over $260,000 from over 6,000 donations. And someone who claims to be a former teacher of Piper created that page for her.
Sheldon, little bootleg ass studio.
Well, there it is, man. Unfortunate situation. It's tough out here in America, man. In the world, period. Like, shit, there's really no kind of real justice, especially when you black, you know, and of color as well in America. But we get shat on the most. Let's just keep it 100. We get shat on the most, you know. And unfortunate to Centoya Brown, her situation and others alike, you know. This woman shouldn't even had any type of jail time, any imprisonment. She shouldn't even had any court date. Like, she should have just been at home from the jump. That shit crazy. And they talking about restitution, $150,000. Man, get out of here. You crazy? What's wrong with folk, man? Let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section below. If you vibed all the way out to the end, I really do appreciate you. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to both channels if you hadn't already. The link to my second channel is in the description. You feel me? Until next time, though, I'm SheldonVybez. I'm gonna need y'all to be cool like the other side of the pillow. Stay light on your toes like you suppose. Oh yeah, no.
If you ain't fucking with my nigga Sheldon, nigga, fuck you. Yeah.
On God.